Good evening. I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Earlier today, Nebraska Athletics announced this year's Hall of Fame class. The 2026 class includes Matt Hopper from baseball, Sandra Luthold from bowling, Taylor Edwards from softball, Amber Holmquist from volleyball, Dean Steinkühler from football, Annetta Radovica from track and field, and John Cook from volleyball. The 6 student athletes in the class combined for 21 All-America accolades, 3 individual NCAA titles, and 17 national championships. And Coach Cook is the 7th coach inducted. The class will be inducted on October 2nd and be recognized on the 3rd during the football game against Maryland. For more information, visit Huskers.com. Another Husker news, Nebraska women's basketball announced their non-conference slate today. The 11-game non-con schedule features battle against Texas A&M at PBA, among other games against Cal, Kansas, and North Dakota. For more information, visit Huskers.com or ask Matt Coatney. And finally, Husker men's golf coach Judd Cornell received a 3-year contract extension today. Cornell coached the Huskers to a school record 285.18 team stroke average and an 8th place finish at the 18-team conference championship this past season. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, the disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
And welcome in a beautiful Thursday here in Lincoln. Kyle Crooks and Matt Coatney. You heard in the ticker, Camden Cohn talking about, ask Matt Coatney about the women's basketball schedule. We had the full non-conference schedule come out today, so we'll talk a little bit about that as we go. Some of the things that you're looking forward to once the season gets started. Of course, the big news of the day, Nebraska Athletics Hall of Fame, the newest class was announced. That ceremony will be on October 2nd. That is Friday before the Maryland football game. Huskers and the Maryland Terrapins when they come here to Memorial Stadium. So it's a 7-member class that Camden went through on the ticker, and we'll break that down as we go. A lot of things to get into. Wrestling, they announced their conference schedule today. There was some news that came out about the Protect College Sports Act as well that we can get into, in a joint statement between two big conferences and the Big Ten and the SEC. Dr. Susan Elza joins us in the next segment. She is one of the big pieces of football, especially in the just administration and logistics. She's an assistant AD with football administration. If you see Coach Rule, you probably see Dr. Susan Elza, who big part of putting this weekend together with recruiting, final live weekend for recruiting. You have the 7-on-7, the Red Sea Rising event here at Memorial Stadium. So with all that, Matt Coatney, how are you, my friend?
Well, I want to tell you, I thought you guys had a great show without me last night. Camden Cohn did a great job, and so
there's a lot of nonsense.
Did you save all of this great sports news related to the Huskers for my final appearance this week? You just kind of backload my week. No, it's been an interesting day. I was not aware we were going to announce the non-conference women's basketball schedule until it came out today. And but when I looked at the Hall of Fame class, and I realized that so many of the people who are in that Hall of Fame, I've got stories about, makes me feel old, because a lot of the people here were talking about Amber Holmquist, early 2000s, Matt Hopper, early 2000s. John Cook, a good friend of mine. That needed to happen. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. Dean Steinkühler, I know his sons better than I know Dean. Nobody deserves to be in the Nebraska Hall of Fame more than Dean Steinkühler.
Yeah, you were surprised that it hadn't happened already. Yeah. We talked a couple days ago. This has been known internally for a little bit, because we would like to contact all of those that are a part of the class and have them interviewed for Sports Nightly. I had a chance to talk to Matt Hopper yesterday. I talked to Dean Steinkuhler over the phone yesterday just about, setting up an interview. And he said still listens to, he has, I think, 9 grandkids. He said he listens to every game on the radio. Oh. So he wanted to let me know that he listens to everything we do on the radio. But you look at his accolades, and the more I learn about the history, and you see some of the accolades of a guy like Dean Steinkuhler, especially the Fumblerooski in the '84 Orange Bowl. That's the first thing that pops to memory for a lot of Husker fans, and how cool that play was. But he's part of the history of what we think about, right, Matt, with Nebraska football. That's big, strong guys at the line of scrimmage.
Back in those days, you're coming off Dave Remington, who you could make the case was the greatest offensive lineman in the history of college football, and then here comes a Dean Steinkuhler. If I said to Husker fans, what's the most memorable play in Husker football history? Probably Johnny Rodgers in the game of the century against Oklahoma would be number one. The Matt Davison catch against Missouri in '97. The Jordan Westerkamp catch on the Hail Mary from Ron Kellogg. Certainly, I think Alex Henry's 57-yard field goal to beat Colorado. But the Fumblerooski is known to so many people, and other teams have ran it, but not in a game that big, I don't think, the '84 Orange Bowl. And he's got a very memorable name, Dean Steinkuhler. Now, he grew up in a town that you haven't heard of, Burr, Nebraska. And Burr, Nebraska is about as big as the back end of our studio, because I've been there many times. And he went to Sterling High in Johnson County. Let's think about, I named off Matt Davison's catch, and I talked about Dean Steinkuhler's Fumblerooski. Matt Davison from Johnson County went to Johnson County Central. In those days, it was Tecumseh. And then Dean Steinkuhler, living in Burr, ended up playing at Sterling in Johnson County. Johnson County gave the University of Nebraska 2 of their all-time greatest football players. And when everybody's talking about, oh, you got to recruit the West Coast, oh, you got to recruit New York City, you got to recruit Ohio, I'm going to say, you got to recruit Johnson County, Nebraska. I mean, that's why the Nebraska kids are so great. Steinkuhler was such an imposing force. And his sons, Baker and Ty, just great people. As a softball umpire here in Lincoln, I probably have officiated 100 of Ty Steinkuhler's games. Baker and Ty went to high school with my kids at Southwest. So I was stunned. I just assumed he already had been in the Nebraska Hall of Fame.
Yeah, his number was retired in '83. Yeah. Was the number 2 overall pick in the '84 NFL draft, and Outland Trophy winner, the Lombardi Award, all those things that you think of with great linemen. He is certainly in that mix from 79 to 83, like you mentioned, from Burr, Nebraska, and all the great honors that are attached with him. But had a chance to talk to Matt Hopper as well, and we'll have that conversation probably on Monday for Sports Nightly. What a great guy. Of course, teammates with Will Bolt, part of 2 College World Series teams. One of those years he was hurt, broke his hand in the Super Regionals that season, so he never had a chance to play in the World Series. But you look at his numbers, and he came back. That was his junior year that happened, and then he comes back his senior year and was the Big 12 Player of the Year. So he just got better and better. After a redshirt season in '99, his freshman, he was the Big 12 Freshman of the Year in 2000, back-to-back World Series years. He had an incredible sophomore season, one of the best freshman years in program history, and it just culminated all the way up to a Big 12 Player of the Year. He's one of the best players, obviously, that this program's ever seen.
That team early in his career had Shane Comine as a dominant pitcher. You mentioned Will Bolt, who was the shortstop early on there, but Matt Hopper was a true middle-of-the-lineup power hitter, hit for obviously home run power, but line drives, doubles. He was so dangerous. He made the whole lineup better. You couldn't pitch around Matt Hopper. And then those Friday nights in the Big 12 when Shane Comine would take the mound and Matt Hopper was hitting the ball at first all over Buck Belzer Field.
Yeah, that's right.
It's hard to remember that that Dave Van Horn team started what really became the modern version of Nebraska baseball at what was the football practice field that they turned into a baseball stadium. Matt Hopper was such a great power hitter, a true power hitter in the middle of that order, and richly deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
And Taylor Edwards, a part of softball, part of a team that went to that World Series in 2013. You think of some of the great Huskers softball players ever. Her number 12 jersey was retired in 2024. She was an alternate in the 2020 Olympics. I actually called one of her games.
Is that right?
Because they the U.S. women's national team would go on a tour that was sponsored by the MLB. They would go to a bunch of college softball stadiums, and they came to Gainesville to play an exhibition game, and she was on that team. So I called one of her games in Gainesville for SEC Network that year, and so that was where I first learned about the legend of Taylor Edwards. But that's another one of all of these are no-brainers, but especially when you look at Taylor Edwards and what she's done, and a two-time All-American, started 231 games, career .327 hitter, one of the best catchers that we've seen in Big Ten history.
You draw a line for Husker softball from Peaches James to Taylor Edwards. And when she came in with her sister Tatum. So they were kind of a package deal. Tatum didn't get the pub that Taylor did. I started making sure I tuned into every Husker radio broadcast with Nate Rohr, because you could not miss a Taylor Edwards at bat. And when she hit a ball, you can look at her numbers and see her home run numbers. None of them were cheapies. When she hit a ball, it usually was to the deepest part of the park and usually hit somebody's car. I mean, when I think about Husker softball, it's different. You can't really say Jordy Fromm put the whole team on her back when you look at what the Cammonson sisters did and Liv Farrell and that type of thing. But Taylor Edwards really put what was a great team, that College World Series team, on her back. But she was the quintessential power hitter. She was must-see TV and must-listen-to radio when she was here.
Yeah, she ended her career with 17 all-time Nebraska records and a share of 2 NCAA records. So Taylor Edwards, we mentioned Dean Steinkuhler. We talked about Matt Hopper, Cassandra Luthol from bowling from 06 to 2010, from Blackhawk, South Dakota, Amber Holmquist of volleyball. We can get to some of these names as well in the top of the second hour, from Houston, Texas. So you have 2 volleyball representatives, along with a man who has a statue outside of his arena.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That makes sense. John Cook, 25-year tenure for him, 4 national championships, and then Aneta Radovica of women's track and field. But John Cook's probably the one name that sticks out the most for a lot of people.
He is – I compare John Cook to Tom Osborne in that Bob Devaney started Husker football that we know now and handed it off to Tom Osborne, who did more with it than Devaney did. Terry Pettit started Nebraska volleyball, did great things with it, and handed it off to John Cook, who made it explode. And that's why I think the timeline is congruent from Devaney to Osborne as it was from Pettit to John Cook. I'm great friends with John Cook. Maybe the greatest thing John Cook did was give us Lauren Cook, as a daughter, a setter, and now a part of our radio network. And I think of them as a family before I think of their great accolades. You like seeing good people get honored, and anything John Cook gets honored for, he's deserved.
722 wins here at Nebraska, won nearly 88% of his matches as Husker head coach. So that's the 7-member Hall of Fame class that was announced today will be honored as part of a ceremony at the Devaney Center. That'll be October 2nd before the Maryland football game. So a lot of big news today in Husker Nation. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the start of the second hour. Big weekend for football as the Battle of the Boneyard returns. You have the Red Sea Rising event. Again, you can buy your tickets. They're free on Huskers.com/tickets. So go and be a part of a special event. My conversation with Dr. Susan Elza, who is a big part of the football administration over there at the Hawks Center. That conversation about this weekend is next.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
Looking for options? Woodhouse has them, all under one trusted name. Trucks, SUVs, sedans, and every deal starts at the manufacturer's suggested retail price. Then we apply real discounts and rebates to get you to your true price. No inflated numbers, no gimmicks, and we even share our document fee up front. More brands, more choices, and the honesty you deserve. Start your search today at woodhouse.com. Clear price, clear choice. Hassle-free all the way to your driveway. That's Woodhouse.
Husker fans, football season is right around the corner. We need you there to continue to make Memorial Stadium the best atmosphere in college football. You can now choose between 2 mini plans, a 3-game mini plan for $185 and a 4-game mini plan for $225. These plans are your best way to guarantee a ticket to the Indiana and Ohio State game and are only available while supplies last. To purchase today or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
In the mood for a wild ride? Then enter the Nebraska Lottery's Pony Payout promotion. Until July 28th, when you enter non-winning Pony Payout scratch tickets online, you could win a 2026 Ford Mustang GT Fastback. Gallop over to a Nebraska Lottery retailer and play today. Ford Mustang is a trademark owned and licensed by Ford Motor Company. Ford Motor Company is not a sponsor of this promotion. Pony Payout top prize odds 1 in 120,000.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. With Allo plus DirecTV plus Allo Mobile, you get the ultimate teamwork. Internet you can count on, TV you can stream anytime, anywhere, and nationwide coverage you can depend on. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Ford is here for those who build America. Those who believe that giving everything we've got today will pay off tomorrow. Who will drive America forward for 250 years to come. If that's who you are, you value what we value. Now offering employee pricing. American value for American values. Go to Ford.com or your local Ford dealer for more information.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Falls City, Columbus, and Osmond.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Kyle Crooks back on Sports Nightly. It's a very special weekend here on campus at Memorial Stadium. Have the Red Sea Rising event. Again, that'll be Saturday. Features the second ever Battle of the Boneyard 7-on-7 event. And it's a free admission to show up and watch some of the best in the country. And with that, to tell us more about it, Dr. Susan Elza, who's one of the best. I mean, you want to know about anything going on around football, assistant AD of football administration, Dr. Susan Elza. Always good to see you, Susan. How are you?
Thanks for having me. You know what? I'm fired up. I mean, just to hear you say Red Sea Rising, it tells me everything that's coming this weekend. So super excited about that.
Yeah, and again, free admission. Tickets are free. Gates open at 6. The event, the 7-on-7, the portion that you'll be able to see, the championship rounds will be starting at 7 o'clock. You can go to Huskers.com/tickets. Fans are asked to enter through gate 20 on the east side. There will be concessions available. I think first 500 fans will receive a free T-shirt courtesy of Adidas, who's a great sponsor of this event, and then a special announcement at the end of the night, but you'll have to wait till the end of the night to figure out what that announcement is. But Susan, second ever Battle of the Boneyard. You get the elite of the elite here, and we know the momentum that's around Husker football right now. If you hop on X and Twitter, I mean it's right in front of you. You guys are putting in tremendous work, but this event also, I mean, this helps too. You're getting the cream of the crop here in this class and beyond on campus here this weekend.
Yeah, I mean it's so important to have this event here. We're bringing in, it's 15 teams, roughly almost 300 players, 24 states represented, and some of the most elite players in, across the United States are going to come here and, get better at football, compete against one another, and get to see, the bonus for us is they get to see Memorial Stadium, University of Nebraska, and all the things that we have here to offer, in our athletic department, but most importantly, within our football program.
How many states are involved? This is a coast-to-coast event. You have players and recruits coming from all over the place here to see Lincoln.
Yeah, I mean, it's 24 states. We can talk here just a minute because we've added another component to it that actually starts in the morning with a big man camp. But that number represents both the 7-on-7 and the big man camp that we're having here. And I had made a few notes. I mean, California, Nevada, Arizona, Washington, Illinois, Michigan, Florida, Texas, Georgia. It's unbelievable. When you think about it and you're putting this together, you're not thinking about, how this spans the United States. You're just thinking, we want to put on the most elite event and, hopefully have teams sign up for this and, see the benefit of coming here to Lincoln, being in Memorial, being in Hawks, on our grass fields and just getting better at football. But once, I'd made my notes for this, it really truly is unbelievable, what we've been able to do 2 years in a row to get recruits here. Potential student athletes, if you will, to see what we have to offer in our football program.
I was walking a group through Memorial Stadium the other day, and they were walking on the field. They couldn't believe it. Their breath was taken away because it is truly a cathedral of college football. And sometimes it takes people to get here to Lincoln, to get here to these facilities, to realize how special it is. That's part of the effort, is just getting people here. And I'm sure you talk to people around the country, and what you guys pulled off last year and what this year looks like. It is truly the elite of the elite and a special event. Just how much work goes into the logistics of pulling something like this off?
I think you have to start with, number one, saying thank you to Adidas. They pour a lot into this because they encourage the teams that they sponsor, to come and participate in this tournament, in this camp, just due to their relationship with these 7-on-7 teams. And then secondly, our recruiting staff and our operations staff, and then, our creative staff. That takes everyone, to make this as premier as we would like for it to be. A lot of it is operational. just setting up the registration and creating the process where they drop in their rosters and creating the schedule that they will play on and the fields and, the tournament bracket, if you will, once they actually flip over to the competition part of the camp. But I mean, there's just so many people that are involved with this, and you want it to be elite. I mean, that is a word that we use a lot within our football program, and I'm probably leaving someone out, but there's a lot of people that pour into this to help us make this just a premier camp. And when the day finally gets here, you're excited and exhausted at the same time, but these players that are coming here and converging on Lincoln, whatever they have in their mind, maybe they've never been here before, it is, completely transformed in the time that they're here. And they get all the exposure, not only to our facilities, but to our staff and all the wonderful people that are a part of Nebraska football. Yeah,
when we had Coach Rule here in studio, we were about 5,500 tickets, but that number continues to grow, and I would imagine that number will continue to grow before Saturday, not just with this appearance, but I think there's a lot of excitement for Husker football fans. Husker fans show up for everything, right. And I have a feeling they're going to show up in a big way on Saturday. Yeah, I mean, I've always thought that our fans here are our secret weapon. The support that you get here, in football and across all of athletics, it is so powerful. And that's why, last year, we started with just a T-shirt giveaway, if you will, and had quite a few show up. I would think we were probably sitting close at 500. And to hear that number when you say it, 7,300 people are going to come here and support, our efforts to show these, these campers, these recruits, if you will. They're both. I mean, it's basically an unofficial visit. What Lincoln and what Memorial is all about. The feel of that stadium, how important it is, to put our best foot forward and to show people what it's like. I'm excited for this moment. I hope we jump that number up to 10,000, if not even more. We're prepared for that. And I think that it's just, again, I'll go back to it. There's just no replacement for what we have here in terms of our fans and how they follow our sport and how they try to support us and securing the recruits that we have that are considering coming to Nebraska and playing in the football program. Chatting with Dr. Susan Elza, who's Assistant AD for Football Administration, just the backbone really of this program. Red Sea Rising event Saturday features the second annual Battle of the Boneyard 7-on-7 event. The elite of the elite. Tickets are free, so right now we're at about 7,300 as we talk, but this event will be big, and that number will continue to grow. It's this Saturday, gates open at 6. The event, the championship rounds of the 7-on-7 will begin at 7 o'clock, so you'll be able to watch that, have the opportunity to get concessions and all that. First 500 fans will get a free T-shirt presented by Adidas, and you talked about just what this place is like, and when you bring somebody in on an unofficial or official visit, what do you think is the biggest takeaway you want an athlete to get from a visit? It's just like my accent. People are going to stereotype me for the way I talk, and I think that a lot of times what happens here is they think it's just cornfields, and I hate saying that because it's been said so many times over the span of the years that we've been here and probably beyond. But when they get here, I think that they can see that this university has poured into the athletic program. It's poured into football, because when you come to a camp here, and it essentially becomes that unofficial visit, you're going to be able to see two things that I think are really important. One is just all the resources that have been poured into the facilities and all the things that they have access to as a player here. And I think probably more importantly, they get to meet our staff, and that's coaches, that's on-field and off-field people. And we're a program that if there's one thing that I hear resoundingly, because we are in official visits right now, and so we're heading into our third and final weekend of it. And so you get all these interactions with parents, and I love to ask them, what are you seeing here? And they're like, this is a true football family. And,
we feel everything is very authentic and genuine. And I think when you're making these decisions on these lifetime decisions on where you're going to go down the road and, where you're going to basically get your education plus play football, I think that, both the parents and, the potential student athletes that are going to play here, they just want that authenticity. In this time of college football where everything has fluctuated so much and it can become about the wrong things, the money and what you're getting paid, you see that people really just truly want to know who is my son going to play for, and what is this program like throughout the program. And we're all very hands-on. I mean, this could very well be, Pat or Keith sitting in this chair talking about. You can see I have a depth of knowledge in it because that's what Coach expects. He wants all of us to pour ourselves into this program, and I think that's what people get when they come here. They remove the stereotype and they see that this is a really good place to be because of the people.
Yeah. And you could see with the momentum that's been created around recruiting that when people come here, it makes a significant impact on them. So what you say is certainly true. But also a big man camp that'll be a part this Saturday. So this is the first ever big man camp that we're going to have.
Yeah, last minute we thought about adding it because, this is a skill camp when it comes right down to it. 7-on-7 is skill. And, and we had a big man padded camp. That was another thing, that we had added this year. Rob Orich was like, hey, I've seen this done before. Can we add it? And we're like, I'm that person. If it's given to me, we're doing it. Like if we're not just going to have a vision for it, we're going to make it happen. And so last minute, we decided not to do it because we just hadn't had enough runway to build it correctly. And so that this year we started the conversation with, do we want to add this? And we got 49 big men, I guess I should say, coming into town, and they're representative of that 24 states, and we're excited. I mean, it's got a skill component, it's got some competition components to it. It's the first time that we've done it. I think starting with 49, that's not a bad place to start. A lot of people don't do the big man component of it. Some of these guys are attached to these teams because of their relationship with these teams and maybe other smaller versions of big man camps, because sometimes they're done at the high school level. So I just think it's a great place to start, and it's just another opportunity to bring in the guys that are in the trenches.
Yeah.
And give them exposure to what we're doing here.
It's the backbone of the history of this place.
There's no doubt.
The lines of scrimmage, so that's why it's so important. But what's interesting too about this off season and this camp season, we had Coach Rule in here last week. We talked a lot about the local camps, but satellite camps. I mean, you guys are continuing to recruit nationally, which is part of the game now, but you guys have camps all over the place in the country.
Yeah, we ramped up. We took our prospect camps, just the traditional prospect camps, down to 2. So it basically we replaced those with satellite. And I do the numbers. I don't know how important they are to everybody else, but I was just very curious. Like, if we roughly average around 200 to 300 at the traditional prospect camps, and we go out to the satellite, because this was what Coach and our recruiting staff had the vision for. Let's just go to more satellite. How much more exposure were we getting? And so if I think last year we had 3 prospect camps. I don't think I'm incorrect on that. So if you're averaging about, 200 to 300, so somewhere between 600 and 900 that are coming for those. And I ran the numbers off of what we had done, what we were getting exposure to off the satellite camps based on what they had registered. And, you're sitting at about 5,000, athletes that they were able to, football players that they were able to go be a part of those camps and have even more exposure to the talent that's out there. And I just, I thought, once I did those numbers, I think Coach Rule's brilliant. I think our staff, our recruiting staff is brilliant. I think our coaches are incredible. But that was just such a great strategy. When you go down just to the sheer numbers of it, the access that we got to look at football players across the nation, it was incredible. So it felt a little different. It felt like we weren't, doing quite as much. Your big man camp is a prospect camp. Your 2 traditional ones And then obviously your 7-on-7 becomes a prospect camp. So just different versions of it. And it's I don't know, to have that much access and to go out and see what's out there in other states when, maybe players have a hard time getting here. The strategy is incredible. I think that will benefit us, in our recruiting years to come.
Chatting with Dr. Susan Elza of football administration, and big part of putting together this weekend and a lot of the recruiting visits and all of that. But it's going to, we're about to hit a dead period right after this weekend. So July looks a little bit different. What does July look like in your offices? Is it in a way sort of quiet?
And it's never quiet in football. I think what everybody maybe misses out on is just the grind continues with your current team.
Sure.
And your strength staff, your nutrition staff, your athletic training staff, your player development, your operations staff. There's not a day that is not dedicated to making. I always say players come first. They truly do in our program. And we've been talking about camps the whole time in the future, but every day on top of these camps, you also are taking care of what they're doing. So that time is truly just that last bit of prep for, trying to make them bigger, faster, stronger, mentally prepared for August 5th when fall camp starts. And I can't say enough about that staff either. We have a large staff, and it's so vast, the number of things that people do, but there truly is a lot going on at that time. And then the prep you're trying to get ready for fall camp. And Coach Rule has worked ahead this year. Our pretty much our fall camp schedule is pretty buttoned up, minus just a few things that probably just need to, be reviewed. But we're ready for this season. We're so eager for this season. And it's we have, our team has just been grinding through June. They're going to grind through July. And I think all of us, even though it's just, what is today's date anyways? July.
Is it
June 18th? Even though it's only June 18th. All of us are, we've really, really poured into this program. The ones that have been here from the start and the ones that have, joined us as we've gone along, whether it's a player or a coach or an off-field staff. The anticipation for this year is great. So it never stops. The recruiting may, basically die down from a standpoint of having visits, but that never stops either. You're always trying to analyze what you need and how to get better.
And Susan, your thoughts on just the interaction with some of the new faces from a coaching standpoint? Seems like they fit in nicely, just being around. The cool thing about my job is you get to be at practice and you get to see how these guys interact with each other from early on and how that blossoms. How about some of the new faces that you have now in those offices and how they fit in with everybody?
If there's probably one area that I love to pay attention to the most, but it really is not part of my job, is just the coaching. I have been so impressed with all the staff that we've added. Obviously there was quite a few added on defense. Brett and Nick were elevated. It's a change, with Jeep and with Lonnie and all those things. And I love to just observe, and just be a part of it. And this staff has, you can tell that they've grown. It's not just offense and defense and special teams. It's truly a staff that's melded and try to make sure that they are, learning the football together, that they're playing the complementary football that they look for, and that they work to collaborate on, okay, Dana, if I did this defensively, what would you do offensively, and vice versa. And I do get to sit in on those, but it's not like that's not my primary job. But I really appreciate how Coach has led all of us from January on to push us to be at our very best, and he models it on a daily basis. And I see it, clearly through the staff, and I those guys they're like brothers to you because you spend so much time with them, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with our players, in the 2026 season. It's been a good spring, it's been a good off season, and when August gets here, the things that I think that I can see are going to happen in this program. Everybody's going to be really excited about.
Fall camp's right around the corner. Before you know it, we'll be about a month away from kickoff once that fall camp starts. And again, this Saturday, Red Sea Rising event, second Battle of the Boneyard 7-on-7 here at Memorial Stadium, the elite of the elite. Gates open at 6 o'clock. You can watch the championship rounds of the 7-on-7 starting at 7. You can go to huskers.com/tickets for free admission. Fans are asked to enter Gate 20 on the east side. Concessions also available on the east stadium as well. First 500 fans will receive a free T-shirt courtesy of Adidas. So a lot of great stuff going on right now. About 7,300 tickets. Let's get that to 10,000 before the start of this event, perhaps even higher. Dr. Susan Elza, who's the backbone of the football program and a lot of different things logistically and whatnot. And Susan, we can't thank you so much for taking some time because we know you don't have a whole lot of it.
Oh, no. Thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me share everything about it. And you guys get out there for Red Sea Rising.
Yeah, sounds good. Dr. Susan Elza, Assistant AD of Football Administration, Battle of the Boneyard, Red Sea Rising event this Saturday. Gates open at 6 o'clock. Get your tickets, huskers.com/tickets. Again, tickets are free. We'll continue with more of the show right after this.
Ford is here for those who build America. Those who believe that giving everything we've got today will pay off tomorrow. Who will drive America forward for 250 years to come. If that's who you are, you value what we value. Now offering employee pricing. American value for American values. Go to Ford.com or your local Ford dealer for more information.
In the mood for a wild ride? Then enter the Nebraska Lottery's Pony Payout promotion. Until July 28th, when you enter non-winning Pony Payout scratch tickets online, you could win a 2026 Ford Mustang GT Fastback. Gallop over to a Nebraska Lottery retailer and play today. Ford Mustang is a trademark owned and licensed by Ford Motor Company. Ford Motor Company is not a sponsor of this promotion. Pony Payout top prize odds 1 in 120,000.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Aksarben Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles, or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Big savings are here at Woodhouse Nissan on our most popular 2026 model year trucks and SUVs. Get up to $5,500 off MSRP on Nissan Rogue and Nissan Pathfinder, or up to $7,000 off Nissan Murano. Or enjoy 0% APR for 60 months on these SUVs or Nissan Frontier. With approved credit, tax title license extra, when financed with NMAC. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires June 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, where it's mower season. Get 0% financing, professional setup, and local support you can't get at the big box store, only at Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer. Always great to check in with Dr. Susan Elza, Assistant AD for Football Administration, breaking down what you're going to see this weekend as a fan on Saturday. Again, the gates open for the Red Sea Rising event, 6 o'clock here at Memorial Stadium. Second ever Battle of the Boneyard. You'll see the elite of the elite in a 7-on-7 event. Should be a lot of fun, and a very special announcement at the end of said event. Canada's up on, how would you say this? Qatar?
Qatar.
Qatar. Okay. It's Qatar.
Okay. No, Qatar. Okay, 2 of the letters we don't have in English. Okay, in case you don't know, when I was in the United States Navy, I translated Persian Farsi, which the letters are generally the same in Arabic. It is a letter we don't have in English is the first letter. Okay. The second letter we don't have in English, and the third letter is very equivalent to R. There's no vowels in the name. Mm-hmm. And I hear Quatar, guitar, guitar. It's Qatar, and it's a guttural QGH sound deep in your throat, and the T-ish sound you have to touch your tongue at the roof of your mouth, which is tough to do after you've done the guttural letter in your throat to immediately then bring your tongue up to the top, unless you've said it your whole life. But it's Qatar.
Qatar.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like there's like a grunt to it. Qatar.
Yeah, there's no vowels. And like, think about any English words you know that don't have a vowel.
Many.
Like Wheel of Fortune couldn't have been a show. Hey, I'll buy a non-literal Arabic letter, Vanna. Yeah. You got to have a vowel in there, and they don't.
That was probably our best segment of Sports Nightly in the history of the show, because it's a quick one. We got one more segment coming up on the show after this, or on the first hour.
Applied Connective Technologies may be an award-winning IT company, but since day one, our passion, commitment, and top priority have always been about people. Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, President of Applied Connective, helping Nebraska businesses and organizations to operate at their peak potential. We're proud to offer world-class support in the areas of managed IT and cybersecurity, phones, surveillance, door access control, cabling, audio, video, and more. To hear what customers say about working with us, or for a free technology consultation, head to appliedconnective.com today.
From tough jobs to weekend road trips, Ford trucks are built with the power and built Ford tough durability you can count on every day. And now at Woodhouse Ford, it's even easier to upgrade with employee pricing available across the full lineup of Ford trucks. That means honest, straightforward savings on the trucks drivers trust most. Whether you're hauling, towing, or traveling, now's the time to find your perfect Ford truck. Visit Woodhouse Ford in Omaha, Blair, or Plattsmouth, or shop online today.
Husker fans, football season is right around the corner. We need you there to continue to make Memorial Stadium the best atmosphere in college football. You can now choose between 2 mini plans, a 3-game mini plan for $185 and a 4-game mini plan for $225. These plans are your best way to guarantee a ticket to the Indiana and Ohio State game and are only available while supplies last. To purchase today or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
The Akrs Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs, where it's mower season. Get 0% financing, professional setup, and local support you can't get at the big box store. Only at Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer. Final segment of Hour 1, Kyle and Coat. We have the full trio back there as well. We got Matt, Camden, and CSD. Man, that break was something. We got some great stories from Matt Coatney. We got you ready for Joke of the Week, by the way? We have that in the second hour.
I am so ready. And you had to remind me last time that because of art in LA, we need B jokes.
B jokes.
And I think I'm ready. I think I have 3 jokes ready. What you have to know about me is I am a father emeritus now as a grandfather.
That's right.
I feel like dad jokes are probably what I bring best to the table. And so we'll have 3 dad B jokes for that segment. And I don't know, do we have any rim shots on a hotkey back there, guys?
We got the bell for the training table.
And we need rim shots for my segment. I thought we've had a lot of things on hotkeys.
There it is.
Yeah, very nice.
By the way, U.S. Open started today. We had you down. So we did our picks yesterday, but we had you down for John Rahm.
Thank you.
Because you had said that.
Yep.
He's 2 under through 12. Wyndham Clark and Dustin Johnson at 4 under. I'm trying to see notable names. You got Bryson DeChambeau at 2 under. McIlroy is 1 under.
What about Scotty?
Scotty Scheffler. Let me control F here because I don't see him.
No, not good. I'm telling you.
He's 2 over.
Yeah.
Through his first round.
You know, you're going to win the U.S. Open with an over score.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Very nice.
We had a rim shot in the background for your joke of the week.
That was good. So I retired from my full-time government job, which we've illustrated on this show before. And the retirement perk of getting up and being able to watch the U.S. Open on a Thursday morning was taken away from me today because they suspended play.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lots of fog there. So has anybody completed 18?
Yeah. So there's a Scheffler being one of them.
Okay.
Who's 2 over. You have There's a sizable chunk of guys who have been able to get through 18.
Because the other thing I was told is after that fog cleared, this front came through with massive wind. So I love the U.S. Open because it makes me feel good about my golf game.
Yeah, they struggle, don't they?
The world's best golfers end up looking very, very pedestrian.
Back when I played golf, I would always think of it because you're right. You would see the winner of a U.S. Open would be over par.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, what would a decent golfer do on some of those courses? I mean, they would get eaten a lot. The rough is just terrible. Some of the traps are awful. Some of these par 5s are impossible.
Yeah, impossible.
You just wonder how some of these guys are. If you're a decent golfer, what's the course in Bethpage Black?
Yeah,
in New York.
Yeah, no one could get under par on Bethpage.
It's
Black,
like they warn you. This course is really hard. So if you're not good enough, don't come anywhere near this course.
Yeah, I struggle enough on public courses in Nebraska, and I almost got drafted for the Kickapoo High School golf team. My buddy and I, my freshman year, we were playing, and the golf team was practicing one fairway over, and I didn't see him. I was on the green in 11 on a par 4. And I sank a 70-foot putt to get a crowd-pleasing 12. And the next day at school, they're like, why aren't you out for the school golf team? You're great. We saw that 70-foot putt. No.
Love it. Coatney, more Coatney golf stories coming up in hour number 2. Joke of the week as well.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
For more than 50 years, Woodhouse has been proud to serve our communities. We're more than a dealership. We're your neighbor, your partner, and your trusted name in automotive. Generations of drivers have counted on Woodhouse for honesty, transparency, and a hassle-free experience. Every deal starts at the manufacturer's suggested retail price. Then we apply discounts and rebates to get you to your true price. No gimmicks, no surprises. Shop local, shop trusted at woodhouse.com. Hassle-free all the way to your driveway. That's Woodhouse.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Falls City, Columbus, and Osmond.
Ford is here for those who build America. Those who believe that giving everything we've got today will pay off tomorrow. Who will drive America forward for 250 years to come. If that's who you are, you value what we value. Now offering employee pricing. American value for American values. Go to Ford.com or your local Ford dealer for more information.
Good evening. I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Earlier today, Nebraska Athletics announced this year's Hall of Fame class. The 2026 class includes Matt Hopper from baseball, Sandra Leupold from bowling, Taylor Edwards from softball, Amber Holmquist from volleyball, Jane Steinkooler from football, Annetta Radovica from track and field, and John Cook from volleyball. The 6 student athletes in the class combined for 21 All-America accolades, 3 individual NCAA titles, and 17 national championships. Coach Cook is the 7th coach inducted. The class will be inducted on October 2nd and be recognized on the 3rd during the football game against Maryland. For more information, visit Huskers.com. In other Husker news, Nebraska women's basketball announced their non-conference slate today. The 11-game non-con schedule features battle against Texas A&M at PBA, among other games against Cal, Kansas, and North Dakota. For more information, visit Huskers.com or ask Matt Coatney. And finally, Husker men's golf coach Judd Cornell received a 3-year contract extension today. Cornell coached the Huskers to a school record 285.18 team stroke average, an 8th place finish at the 18-team conference championship this past season. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Hour number 2 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Back right swing by Kennedy Martin, dug by Bergen. She can do it all. 23-13 Huskers right side swing. Virginia Adriano. Kaboom! Putting dents in the rec hall deck. It's 24-13.
Prince will come out and take it with 14 seconds to go. Huskers trailing by 2. Prince against Sellers, who has 4 fouls. He'll take a 3. You betcha! A CBA 3 for Britt to give Nebraska the lead. I said you want Prince taking the shot, and she did it. She's got 22, and the Huskers have the lead in Seattle.
Nebraska 9, Oklahoma State 1, bottom of the 5th. Runner at first, 2 outs. Jordy Fromm with a 1-2. Godwin swings, and they appeal to first. They rule. She went around. Strike 3, and Nebraska is going to the Women's College World Series in 2026.
Now, here are your hosts, Kyle Crooks and Matt Coatney on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome in. Hour number 2 of Sports Nightly, final live hour of the week. We'll have a best of tomorrow. It's going to be a football game against Oklahoma in 1988. So we'll play that tomorrow, best of. We'll have best of Fridays throughout the summer, a chance for you to catch up on some of the Husker games of recent and a vintage, a little bit, older Husker radio games. And here you got a chance to hear some of the broadcasts from different eras of the Huskers. So we'll continue the best of series throughout the summer. Did see this, Coat. Rhonda Revelle just tweeted out, not just, but it's about like 5 hours ago, which makes me think that there's more news coming, and the transfer portal says it's a great day to be a Husker.
Yeah.
With about 10 different red balloons.
Don't you love those tweets from coaches?
Coaches are big on that now.
Yeah, well, it's a way that they can honor who they've signed without, blowing it or doing something illegal. And it's a great day to be a Husker softball fan, because who wouldn't want to come play for Nebraska right now after seeing what they did in the College World Series? So I know, saw a picture of Diane Miller and Rhonda Revelle at a professional softball game last night with both the Kamenson sisters. So fun time to follow Husker softball.
Athletes Unlimited is underway. Their season, the main professional softball league, which you see a lot of the athletes that just finished up the World Series that got drafted in that. Nigeri Kennedy, who's the high-priced pitcher, was the high-priced pitcher for Texas Tech, had a mini holdout in that league, but she is pitching now for the AUSL, which has had a lot of funding and continue to move the sport forward. I think that was the one area when I would cover softball that would be tough, because you would see the elite of the elite of where I called games, and they're signing autographs, and you go from that to essentially some of these professional leagues that have no financial backing. Yeah. You're playing on a backfield somewhere. They're not televised. There's no radio. There's no real way to follow some of these athletes post-career, and that I think that has really changed for the better now with this AUSL, and there's been so many leagues throughout the years that fragmented softball professionally. Now it's a central location that if you're the elite of the elite, that's where you're going to end up.
There have been so many great softball players that no one ever got to see professionally. I remember back in the 1990s when I was still living in Springfield, Missouri, I got asked to umpire a traveling barnstorming professional team that had Lori Stoll, who was the national pitcher of the year for Texas A&M, and I got to be behind home plate catch or calling balls and strikes for her, and I got to thinking it's just unfair that here's this great talent that it all just ends and not a way for her to monetize that. Kat Osterman is another person, the great pitcher from Texas that, you know, what could have been if there would have been what we're seeing now is still the genesis, I think, of professional softball. And we've talked about Taylor Edwards in the Hall of Fame. She's been very instrumental, as has Tatum Edwards, in professional softball in various ways through the years.
You know, I mentioned earlier I got a chance to call one Taylor Edwards game when she was with the national team and playing in Gainesville, part of a tour. Remember Monica Abbott and Kat Osterman were on that team, and they would just blow away batters. It was just, imagine, those are two of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, Kat Osterman was involved in the huge softball complex that isn't used there anymore in Bellevue, but she was really big into getting that facility off the ground. Boy, I could sit here and talk softball with you, Kyle. This used to just be Nate Rohr on this network that I could have a decent softball conversation.
How about the year for Nate and his opportunity to get back to OKC? So a lot of great stuff there. Hopefully some news on the way with softball. Again, want to remind you, we had Dr. Susan Elza on the show in the first hour. If you missed it, she came on to talk a lot about this weekend, the Red Sea Rising event. It's a huge recruiting weekend. You have the cream of the crop of recruiting that'll be here as part of a 7-on-7 event, the second ever Battle of the Boneyard. Tickets are free. I think they had about 7,300 tickets that already have been claimed, but they're hoping to get over 10,000, perhaps maybe 15,000. A very special announcement at the end of this event, but you're going to see some really, really good stuff. Also, the first ever Big Men Camp is going to be here too during that time, but the gates open at 6 o'clock. First 500 fans will get a free T-shirt presented by Adidas. There's, as a fan, the one thing that they get fired up more than anything is a free T-shirt. Like, you bring out that T-shirt cannon, forget about it.
You know, through the years, Husker women's basketball usually does a You Betcha T-shirt night.
Really? Can I get one of those, by the way?
Well, you know, this is my point, is that people want those T-shirts so badly, and then when they don't have them, well, they start jumping ugly. So
you got to get there early.
So for this 7-on-7 camp, get in there. Make sure you get a T-shirt. You're going to be mad if you don't get a T-shirt.
I'm serious. I want that T-shirt. I want it for my office. Hang it up. A You Betcha T-shirt. Can you have one?
I probably can. What size do you wear? You can DM me.
Medium.
Yeah, we'll make that happen.
No, I want that to happen. By the way, there was the Protect College Sports Act, that bill. There's some big news today. So it passed through the Senate Commerce Committee 19-9. So now it's going to head to the Senate floor. And there's some big things here that I think one of the biggest things that has come out of it is the anti-expansion provision, which clearly the SEC and the Big Ten are against, and the others are not. The provision at first only targeted the SEC and the Big Ten. Now applies to leagues earning at least $700 million in revenue, down from $1 billion. So it now incorporates the ACC and the Big 12. So there's some clear pushback from the SEC and the Big Ten, because I think what this bill, of course, it wants to create more of a level playing field, especially at the Power 4 level, because you have the SEC and the Big Tens, you have the haves and the have-nots, and the Big Ten and the SEC are the haves. This bill would shrink that gap financially in a lot of big ways. It's going to make things a lot more even. I don't necessarily think the SEC and the Big Ten it's there's certain things about this bill that are good for the game, and I think the SEC and the Big Ten agree with. But the anti-expansion provision on there is one thing that I think SEC and the Big Ten are not going to bite at.
Well, if I'm the ACC, maybe I like it because there's been a lot of noise that schools like Stanford and Cal, if the reconstituted Pac-12 becomes anything, they might want to go back and buy themselves back out of that. So I don't know if the ACC would be behind this either. I think a lot of individual schools are in favor of this because it's something.
Yeah.
Something's better than nothing. I think there's going to be a lot of lobbying, and believe me, Greg Sankey and the Big Ten have enough money to get lobbyists to come in and try and rework that bill that would be more advantageous to the Big Ten and the SEC. What you would hate to see from my chair is that those two big leagues decide to branch off to not be part of that if they can somehow, if they don't get the bill to recognize those as the two major conferences. Bears watching, because I don't think the way the bill is written now is going to be, if it passes in its final form. I think there's going to be a lot of healthy debate, and it certainly, I don't think it'll stay written as it is now, but I agree with the concept of at least something might be happening.
Yeah.
Because right now, especially college football, we are in the wild, wild west. It's not good.
It's impossible if you're a head coach or if you're a GM. That's why GMs make so much money now in football front offices, because of all that you have to deal with and how things change from, I mean, you heard Matt Rule talk about, I think it was in October, having the money necessary for Nebraska to build a roster to be competitive, but that changed 2 months later, right? What it took to be competitive. And there's rumors, whether you believe it or not, of $50 million rosters. I don't think Nebraska's in that territory, but if you want,
Ohio State is,
Texas.
That's been proven, I think, and that $50 million is going to be $70 million if nothing changes here very soon, and you're going to have to be able to keep up with the Joneses, and it's just a different world we're in.
Yeah. So today was a markup session, sort of a follow-up session to start to amend certain things that are in this act. And a couple of bullet points that came out. Ross Dellinger tweeted this out. He said lawmakers filed dozens of proposed amendments to this act. And that was today, the markup session. A few of them prohibiting colleges from partnering with private equity firms, which we've seen a little bit more of, which can be going down a real dangerous path. To make the anti-expansion provision apply to all leagues, not just the SEC and the Big Ten. I think there's a few schools, whether it's FSU or Clemson. I think those are two schools that we've been watching for a long time.
A long time.
Would the SEC make a move for a Clemson? I think FSU there's been rumblings there for a while that nothing's ever really popped there with the Seminoles leaving the ACC. Those two schools have not been happy with the ACC for a long. I mean, we know the stories that came out a couple of years ago about Florida State wanting to bolt and the amount of money they would have to pay.
Yeah, the
to
exit
leave.
fee was prohibitive.
I mean, it was massive.
A big school. Yeah, massive exit fee. Yeah.
And including basketball coaches, football coaches, from leaving their team before that team's season has ended, essentially the Lane Kiffin provision. So that would not just apply for football coaches, but it would include basketball coaches. Change the revenue share cap to 50%. It's currently at 22%. It's going up incrementally as we go each year. Also, only apply the one-time transfer limitation to men's basketball and football players in Power 4 leagues. So I guess that would allow a little more freedom for the Olympic sports to bounce around. And these are different politicians that are throwing in their revisions that, again, this has to get through the Senate still. There's a lot of markups that are going to take place, and it's going to change a lot over time. Again, I would assume you have to get the SEC and the Big Ten on board before there's any sort of true government intervention that you put this into law. clarifies athletes are not employees and requires, I don't even want to read this one because I think it has too much political implication. I don't even want to get into that. But lowers the membership requirement to pool media rights from 75% to 70% of FBS schools. I think that's another big one, too.
It's a huge one. Yeah.
That's a massive one for the Big Two, is pooling media rights, which what you see in the NBA, the NFL, right? You're on, you have a collection of, you can play on Fox, CBS, and it's not as kind of split up. So that's the one that I could see with the anti-expansion, along with pooling of media rights, where the Big Two are going to say, you're limiting my earning power.
Especially when the Big Ten Conference owns, or Fox owns, the Big Ten Network 51% or whatever it is. That gets real messy if that goes through.
Yeah. Ensures non-participating schools and conferences are not held liable if they decline to pool media rights as well. So just a few provisions that are out there. Senator Ted Cruz has been heading up this bill. He thinks that this could happen as soon as July to get it through the Senate, and he thinks it could be potentially something that can be put into law before the school year, which is incredibly ambitious. I don't think we're heading.
Yeah, I don't think there's any possible way.
And so I think we will have 5 for 5 probably sooner rather than later. I think there's the reality of 5 for 5 could be a thing before the start of the next school year, but a complete overhaul of college athletics. Look, it's something that we need, but the SEC and the Big Ten, they have a clear advantage on the market of college sports, a competitive advantage because financially they're ahead of the Big 12 and the ACC, whether it's media rights, etc. So you're taking away their superpower with this bill, which is their advantage in their finances and the athletes they're able to get and their resources. So I'm sure if you look at the Big Ten and the SEC, they're going to have to come a long way to agree to this.
It is going to be tough when you look at a Big Ten and an SEC and you're comparing schools like Ohio State, Nebraska, Michigan, Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma, and comparing them to a Big 12, which now has Central Florida. And for all you Central Florida fans who are tuned in now, don't yell at me, but there's a difference in academic prestige. There's a difference in their administration, their resources, and it's a real problem.
Yeah. So I think some of the real banner things they're looking at is limiting transfers. 5 for 5 is a part of this as well. Having some sort of hard cap on what you'd pay for with guys with NIL. The Lane Kiffin rule, coaches leaving before seasons ended, pooling TV media rights, ending potential talk and possibilities of a Super League. I think those are the main topics that this bill is going to try to attack. But we're all in agreement that something has to change, but everyone's got to be on board.
Trying to get all the entities on board here. What the sport really needs is a czar. They need a strong commissioner who...
Matt Coatney?
Yeah, that's the last job I would ever want. But
take you right out of retirement.
A strong voice who, and people have got to want to be governed, and that isn't where we are right now.
Yeah, it's the NCAA has no teeth. You have to have somebody who has a little bit of teeth to be able to govern what's going on, which, like you said at the start of this segment, is the Wild Wild West. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. We're going to head into Matt Coatney's wheelhouse next. I mean, everything's his wheelhouse, but we did get the non-conference schedule, which Camden outlined. For women's basketball, we're going to run through some of the interesting headlines out of that, and we'll touch on what you've liked so far with the offseason for women's basketball and Amy Williams' squad. That's coming up next here on the show.
Ford is here for those who build America. Those who believe that giving everything we've got today will pay off tomorrow, who will drive America forward for 250 years to come. If that's who you are, you value what we value. Now offering employee pricing. American value for American values. Go to Ford.com or your local Ford dealer for more information.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, You won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
In the mood for a wild ride? Then enter the Nebraska Lottery's Pony Payout promotion. Until July 28th, when you enter non-winning Pony Payout scratch tickets online, you could win a 2026 Ford Mustang GT Fastback. Gallop over to a Nebraska Lottery retailer and play today. Ford Mustang is a trademark owned and licensed by Ford Motor Company. Ford Motor Company is not a sponsor of this promotion. Pony Payout top prize odds 1 in 120,000.
And now, introducing the starting lineup of your Nebraska Huskers. Starring Allo Fiber. At number 1, Allo Internet. At number 2, no satellite dish required. DirecTV through Allo. And at number 3, Allo Mobile. Allo Fiber, the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of Husker Nation. Level up your game and go to allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Ford is here for those who build America. Those who believe that giving everything we've got today will pay off tomorrow. Who will drive America forward for 250 years to come. If that's who you are, you value what we value. Now offering employee pricing. American value for American values. Go to Ford.com or your local Ford dealer for more information.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Falls City, Columbus, and Osmond.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs, where it's mower season. Get 0% financing, professional setup, and local support you can't get at the big box store, only at Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer. Kyle and Coat, Kyle Crooks, Matt Coatney. Here, our final live show of the week, and then we'll have a best of tomorrow, the 1988 football game, the Huskers and the Oklahoma Sooners. So we'll have that tomorrow, starting at 6 o'clock Central Time. Following your Cardinals, Coatney has his St. Louis shirt on right now. I noticed that's the first thing I noticed. Your Cards are trailing, correct, to the Royals
they're
right
drowning.
now?
I wouldn't say they're trailing.
Drowning?
They're drowning right now. They had a 2-0 lead, then it was 2-1, and it was 7-2. And our bullpen is doing a good job of starting a fire when one doesn't exist. But I'm not bitter.
Love a bad bullpen. That really makes the season feel nice and short, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's terrible.
By the way, Sam texted in. Today is his 17th birthday. He wanted to say a big thank you to the radio team who we inspire him, which is a scary thought.
Sam, happy birthday to you.
Amy Sharp's going to show him around the booth sometime soon here. So Sam's been in touch in the past, and happy 17th birthday to you, Sam. He says, go Big Red, and thanks for always setting the standard for Husker broadcasting. I guess that goes for all of us. So
we have a pretty deep bullpen. Speaking of bullpens, I would put...
Does our bullpen drown like the Cardinals bullpen?
Well, nobody drowns like the Cardinals. Well, I have not went off on Ryan Stanek like I did Brett Cecil. Those of you who follow me on social media know for 4 years I abused Brett Cecil in his 4-year, $26 million contract because he was brought in to get left-handed hitters out so he'd face one hitter and give up a grand slam every time. And anyway, I could go on and on and on. I've not went to Brett Cecil theme yet, but Stanek's on deck. Believe me.
He's getting there.
O'Brien is close. Graceppo is close. Yeah, the whole bullpen stinks.
We had when I was doing minor league baseball, we'll get to the women's basketball non-conference schedule here in a second. When I was doing minor league baseball, AA for the Marlins, we had a reliever by the name of Kyle Barraclaw, who was traded to the Cardinals that year, and he was filthy in AA.
At that level, he was. And I had really wanted to see him. He was one of those tweeners, too good for the minor leagues and not good enough for Major League Baseball. If you can't make it in the Cardinals bullpen, you got problems. That's what I'll say.
Well, how about we don't have many problems when it comes to women's basketball because we got our non-conference schedule, a lot of excitement. I know you're fired up. Season's going to start November 2nd against San Jose State, home games against Western Illinois, North Carolina A&T, but the notable, there's a trio of real notable games. I think that probably 4 notable games that really stick out to me. But you have Kansas in the Pentagon. You have the Creighton game on the road in Omaha. You're going to have a neutral site game in the Chase Center in San Francisco against Cal. But you also have a game against Texas A&M as well, which will be a part of a home-and-home series. So you have some really, really good non-conference opponents and some pretty notable ones.
And we've already talked a little bit a couple of weeks ago when the Texas A&M date was announced that depending on what volleyball does, the Huskers might move that to the Devaney Center if volleyball ends up playing in Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Yeah.
I am so excited about that Cal game because San Francisco is my favorite city in the world. They're going to play it at the Chase Center.
It's a fairly brand new arena.
Yeah, it's where the Warriors and the Valkyries play NBA and WNBA. Do not overlook the Western Illinois game on November 7th. That's the defending Ohio Valley Conference champs. That is going to be potentially a great net evaluation tool game for Nebraska. Kansas at the Pentagon. Brandon Schneider, I want to say he's been down in Lawrence for about 10 years. Always has a team that is tough to deal with, so that'll be great. The Creighton game is on November 21st, the same day Husker football plays Ohio State. So we don't have game times for any of these, and that'll have to be fleshed out. Creighton was down last year because they lost 7 seniors, I think is what they lost. They've got the Gessert twins back and several other people. So Creighton will be much improved this year playing in the Big East. So you're looking at 3 Power 4 schools and 1 Big East school and a defending conference champion. That's a real schedule for non-conference because with the Big Ten schedule Nebraska has, you have to find wins in the non-conference. You've got, I thought last year Amy Williams and her general manager Amanda Hart did a great job of structuring the non-conference schedule so when Nebraska hit the Big Ten schedule, they were in the top 15 in the net evaluation tool rankings. If you want to make the postseason, you need to be on the radar early in the net. And I think this schedule really sets it up for Nebraska. Cal's got 4 starters back. The only player they lost in the transfer portal was the all-name team Puff Morris was transferred, I think, to Georgia. But they've got 4 players back. That's going to be a superior game, and it'll be interesting to see that. Texas A&M, always tough. The games that Nebraska had against when Gary Blair was the head coach of Texas A&M here were.
Did he ever throw candy at you in the pregame?
I'll tell you about Gary Blair. Gary Blair, along with Joe McEwen at Northwestern, some of the coaches who break all tradition come out and talk to me before the game. They come find me.
Yeah.
Gary Blair has given me more Tootsie Rolls.
That's his thing. So Gary Blair, long time, he was a national champion at A&M. He would just throw out candy before the games.
Yeah. He would talk to me. My favorite Gary Blair story is we went down there when he was just getting it going. And we had to play Chelsea Aubry, who was the captain of the Canadian national team. We had to play her at the 3 due to injury. And we beat Texas A&M. Gary Blair gets on the bus. You ever seen an opposing coach get on your bus after a game? But this is Gary Blair. He gets on the bus, and we're all just mesmerized. Like, what is this coach doing? And he says, congratulations to y'all. You deserve the win. And I bet you all think that your Canadian was a player of the game, but I hope you all recognize that it's your point guard is the reason you won. And every one of you needs to go buy Gina Johansson a cheeseburger. Have a safe trip back. And we all looked at each other like, did I make that up? Gary Blair is a dandy.
He's one of one.
He used to go through College Station and hand out Tootsie Rolls door to door like he was trying to sell newspaper subscriptions. Yeah. He told me those stories. If all I ever did was get to know Gary Blair in my women's basketball career, I had a great life.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Big Ten schedule too, Coach. I mean, the Big Ten obviously is an elite women's basketball league.
Boy, yeah.
You have to you'll play Iowa twice, right? But Michigan, Ohio State is an elite team. You look at Maryland, of course, always a good program, but USC gets Juju Watkins back this year. UCLA is losing a lot off their national championship team, but I would imagine that they have some cachet.
Yeah. That the Huskers will go to Los Angeles and play USC and UCLA on the same trip. That's going to be a tough trip. The Huskers have to go to the East Coast and play Maryland and Rutgers.
Yep.
And I imagine that might be the same trip. If you'd have told me 30 years ago that the Huskers would basically be playing a conference schedule with trips that the NBA wouldn't even
New Jersey and Southern California.
I mean, but it's just that's the world we live in now. I look at the schedule and talking about this non-conference schedule that came out today. If people look at Mount St. Mary's and go, why is Nebraska playing that? You gotta have you can't play Kansas all the time. You can't play Cal every game. You got to schedule some mid-majors in there. And I get down to, the postseason has expanded now for the NCAA tournament. It really puts pressure on coaches to make that postseason NCAA tournament now.
Yeah,
with the playing games. And I really, the amount of thought that goes into the schedule, I think fans would be astonished how much thought. You're going to play Creighton, okay, and there's some games that you've scheduled years in advance, but we're not just playing teams for the heck of it. Jeff Grease gets involved in this to take a look at who have they got coming back. Are you playing a team, okay, like Cal has got 4 starters coming back, but arguably their best player isn't, okay? So that's a consideration. What's the strength of schedule that Texas A&M is going to have at the end of the year? We're playing in the tough SEC. When you play Texas A&M, you are going to get the benefit of their strength of schedule. Same thing with Kansas.
Yeah.
Same thing with Western Illinois. You have to think that their strength of schedule will be good enough. So I applaud Amy Williams and Amanda Hart and Jeff Grease, because in the days of the transfer portal, it's hard to know who's your opponent going to have. And Nebraska's going to have a team next year, I think, that can compete with anybody if Natalie Potts is healthy.
Yeah.
Bringing in Kopel as a freshman. Ava Miles, I think, is flying under the radar. She's going to be a tremendous guard. But bringing in Adesan Noyan from Indiana, who absolutely destroyed Nebraska in the Big Ten tournament loss to Indiana, upgrades Nebraska's ability to hit the glass. So this is going to be a much better rebounding team, and it's going to have to be to go with that schedule.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Coming up next, by the way, I'm going to ask you a question. I think I know what the answer is going to be. I think you're going to explode like Mount Vesuvius. You're going to be angry because you mentioned something in this segment that I want to get your opinion on.
Okay.
Also, I think we're going to do Joke of the Week next, and it's Matt Coatney's responsibility for Joke of the Week this week.
I'm ready.
And we got the drums and the hi-hat, and we got everything ready for the punchline. We'll go to the chat. You can text in what your rating of the joke is, 1 through 10. 402-413-2400. We've had some duds the last couple weeks. Camden, there were crickets in this studio the last time Camden told his joke a week ago.
Well, so I've got a small bar to step over.
Yes, very small.
Okay.
Very small. So, yeah, it's time to save Joke of the Week before Jess puts a chair to the back of the head of the segment once again. That's coming up next. Joke of the Week, and would we see Matt Coatney explode after what I'm about to ask him? That's next. Come on back, find out.
All right.
Husker fans, football season is right around the corner. We need you there to continue to make Memorial Stadium the best atmosphere in college football. You can now choose between 2 mini plans, a 3-game mini plan for $185 and a 4-game mini plan for $225. These plans are your best way to guarantee a ticket to the Indiana and Ohio State game and are only available while supplies last. To purchase today or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Looking for options? Woodhouse has them, all under one trusted name. Trucks, SUVs, sedans, and every deal starts at the manufacturer's suggested retail price. Then we apply real discounts and rebates to get you to your true price. No inflated numbers, no gimmicks, and we even share our document fee up front. More brands, more choices, and the honesty you deserve. Start your search today at woodhouse.com. Clear price, clear choice. Hassle-free all the way to your driveway. That's Woodhouse.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Exarban Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles, or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
At Woodhouse Hyundai, triple your down payment and lease a 2026 Hyundai Tucson SE for just $264 per month. Put down $2,000 and we'll add $4,000 more. Lower payments, more value. Drive with confidence with Hyundai Owner Assurance, America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Get started now at WoodhouseHyundai.com or WoodhousePlaceHyundai.com. 36 months, 10,000 miles per year with approved credit. Tax, title, license extra. $2,000 down plus first payment, $299 doc fee, $650 acquisition fee due at signing. Stock H2 60552. Offer ends June 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Kyle and Coat, Kyle Crooks, Matt Coatney, final live show of the week. Tomorrow we'll have our best of series will continue. And I posed this before. I said I was going to ask Coatney something that was going to make him angry, at least I think.
Okay.
But you mentioned NCAA tournament expansion from 68 to 76. Does that make you beyond angry?
No.
Really?
Jeff Grease and I, and I've brought this up to many coaches, and they get angry at me. I say, if you are a Division I team, let's get completely away from the men's model. Everybody makes it. Play it in Vegas. There's 5 arenas. You can do this in Vegas. You can have quadruple buys if you want to, and play it 24 hours a day. So seed 353 will take on seed 74.
Who's on that selection? Who's putting together that bracket? I guess there's no selection committee because everyone makes
it. And go right off the net evaluation tool.
Okay.
That makes everybody loves the net evaluation tool. That's your seed. The bracket is done. Play it in Vegas. And you could sell it. You telling me there's not people who wouldn't stay up till 3 a.m. to watch an NCAA tournament? And then there's no more, we got hosed because we didn't make the NCAA tournament. Nobody likes my idea. Well, put everybody in it. Or put in 250 teams if you don't want to put in UMass Lowell, okay? I mean, so no, you're not making me upset.
Wow.
I think the tournament should be a lot bigger, and I think it should all be in a place like Vegas that it's easy to get to. They have lots of facilities. So I've been championing, put everybody in it.
So that's the exact opposite of what I thought your reaction was going to be. You in turn said put everybody in the tournament. So
play it out. And so can you imagine if seed 358 won their first 2 games and people are like, hey, who is UMass Lowell? We haven't even heard of them. And all those SWAC teams get in, and it would help their budgets. And you're telling me there's not a TV network that wouldn't want to put that on, like ESPN, the Ocho?
There's a better chance of me becoming a billionaire than that ever happening.
That when I talk to coaches about it, they look at me like I peed on their shoe. They don't like that idea at all.
It's now time. It is now time for what we look forward to most every single week. I go to sleep every night thinking about this point of the week every night, and it's Joke of the Week. Dennis already chimes in an early score of 5.5. So there's not a whole lot of positivity out there. That's how much Camden ruined this segment last week.
Wow.
So it is now time. I'll do a little bit of a drum roll here for Matt Coatney's Joke of the Week.
Okay, so a couple of things here. I was told to try and get B jokes.
For Art in L.A.
For our dear friend Art in L.A. And as I pointed out in hour 1, I am now a father emeritus as a very new 3-week grandfather. So these are what I would call dad jokes.
That fits right in.
And so I feel pretty confident that these will either get groans or applause or both. So let's start with my first B joke. I'll set it up that a duck walks into a bar and buys everybody around. He tells the bartender, put it on my bill.
I love that. Fantastic. Do we have the hi-hat? Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So we can have a score of that, and then we'll get the scores as we go. You can continue. You have multiple jokes.
I have 3.
You've come prepared.
I have 3. The next one, I wanted an international joke with the World Cup going on right now. So y'all stay with me. If this goes over anybody's head, I'll be disappointed. A cheese factory exploded in France Debris is everywhere. I got a groan for the back out of that.
I only started listening on the back half because Art in LA actually chimed in. So I was reading his text message, by the way, and your jokes are making his week, by the way.
If I can make Art's week, it has been a great month, is what I'll say.
So you have one more joke, right?
I have one. So you didn't even hear that joke. Is
no,
that what
I
you're
didn't.
saying?
You want to say that one again?
Okay. Well, we can do that in radio. We can just edit this out. In 3, 2, 1,
go.
A cheese factory exploded in France. Debris is everywhere.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
not a big Brie fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
you're a fan of France.
Sure. I've never been.
We'll go with that. And finally, and again, the checkpoint here for Art in LA is B jokes. I met my wife working at the glue factory. We bonded immediately. Thank you.
I like that, bonded.
I appreciate it. Tip your server. Good night, everybody.
I think he revived the segment. I think,
Did I? You guys
Coatney,
all right? The 3 jokes definitely helped, right? Back
3
row.
jokes.
You have to come in. You got to go big or go home.
So Art in LA said, Matt, you're the man. He's had a rough week, so he needed a great joke from his 2 favorite, Kyle and Matt. Wow. Perfect 10 for Matt, Kyle, and the B joke. I officially love joke of the week. And he said, oh, my God, love you, Matt. Thank you. So Crypto gives you a perfect 10 because you're the GOAT. Husker and Hanover, 8. Those are a few of the
Crypto King, always a perfect 10. Yeah, because he is a thank you, Crypto King. Yeah.
So this is all positives.
So if I save the segment, so Jess isn't going to come in and try and blow it up. You don't think?
That's what she does. Look, that's what she's going to do. By the way, Jason in Lincoln had said he loves your everybody gets in tournament idea. Love the national championship tourney you proposed. You might be the only one, Jason. Dennis, boy, they're flying in. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to get to all these ratings because people are the joke of the week's never been hotter. So come on back. Final segment next.
Find your next SUV from Woodhouse Chevy. It's the perfect time to upgrade your drive with limited time offers available now. Lease the 2026 Chevy Traverse for $549 a month for 39 months, 10,000 miles per year, or save up to $4,000 off MSRP. Shop online or in-store today. Woodhouse Chevy. Together, let's drive. With approved credit, retired courtesy loaner, tax, title, license extra, security deposit waived, first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Must trade a 2011 or newer vehicle. Must finance with dealer and based upon available rebates. Expires June 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Husker fans, if you're looking for a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding and provides flexibility, your local insurance agency is hiring. No matter your skills or interests, there are opportunities for you in the insurance industry. Explore the many ways you can use your skills to protect your community by checking out the IIAN job board. Find your calling and be a part of an industry that makes a difference. Go to iian.org/careers today.
Husker fans, football season is right around the corner. We need you there to continue to make Memorial Stadium the best atmosphere in college football. You can now choose between 2 mini plans, a 3-game mini plan for $185 and a 4-game mini plan for $225. These plans are your best way to guarantee a ticket to the Indiana and Ohio State game and are only available while supplies last. To purchase today or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. With Allo plus DirecTV plus Allo Mobile, you get the ultimate teamwork. Internet you can count on, TV you can stream anytime, anywhere, and nationwide coverage you can depend on. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers.
The buzz, no pun intended, with the B-jokes.
Okay.
Has never been hotter. Joke of the week is back. Kyle Crooks, Matt Coatney, final segment. Getting some ratings in here. Dennis, 7.5 for the first, 6.0 for the second, 8.0 for the third. Carol, at least an 8.0 on all three.
Hey.
We mentioned Crypto saying Matt delivers. We have somebody on the text line also mentioned that loves your tournament idea.
Yes.
Has been saying it for several years. Let them all in. Cut out, I think, the last four. It kind of gets a little cloudy in the back end of that text. But he signs off on the text by saying, "You betcha."
Yes.
So, by the way, I'm going to hold you to it. I want that shirt.
Yeah.
I want to hang it up in my office, get it signed.
We'll make that happen.
Make it happen. The You Betcha t-shirt. So we're probably going to have you back at some point to host this show over the summer.
Yeah, I hope so. I think I have been part of this show every summer since 1999, I think, probably.
1999, huh?
1999 was my first year on this network. Whatever it was Pinnacle Sports Network back in those days. So, yeah, summer feels like home to me here.
Yeah, and get you away from retirement life a little bit until once it's football season, it's go, go, go for you.
It's very much go, go, go. Yeah, football season is, people, I'm sure you get this. People say, how long does it take you to prepare for a football broadcast? And I say 365 days. And they're like, what? And really, there's not a day that goes by where you're not engaged in social media, headline issues of the day. But once we get to middle of August, then it's go time around here.
Yeah. You'll have fall camp will start August 5th, by the way. So, and then exactly 30 days later, you're going to have the start of a new season with Ohio. And then we mentioned the women's basketball schedule for you. Basketball is going to start on November 2nd. I'm sure there's going to be an exhibition before that. You're going to have fall camp, so you'll be at practices in September, October, leading up to the season.
To practice, love it.
So, Amy Williams, that crew, I'm sure you're excited. That'll be, what is this, almost year like 30 for you, Call Women's Hoops? You and Greece together just did year 25.
Yeah, so this will be my 28th year.
28th year.
28th
for
year
you,
on the women's basketball broadcast.
26 for you and Greece together.
As the team. And we did games the first year, just we weren't the team. Yeah, and they still kept me around here. So,
you're the man when you're around for 25 plus years.
And I'm the rookie compared to John Baylor and Kent Pavelka.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. I mean, we were talking about the bullpen with this network. You don't see this at any other school. Well, first of all, the fragmentation where you have a single play-by-play announcer for each sport. I mean, at Texas, Craig Way does everything.
Mm-hmm.
Men's and women's basketball, football, baseball. And we're pretty lucky, I think, here at the network that we've got the amount of people we have here. I'm happy to be part of the team, and I'm glad I'm still kicking around here.
And there's an interest for everything. You look at the listenership; it's up there for everything from obviously football, men's, women's basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball. This was a lot of fun. I always love spending time with you.
Are we finished?
We only got less than a minute left.
Well, thank you for having me on, Kyle. It has been great having you part of our network. You fit in like a glove, and love doing this show with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Always good to have you here, and we'll have you back here soon, probably to host. If not, then we'll see you for kickoff on September 5th against Ohio, and then we'll be listening to Coat all year long on the Huskers Radio Network with Jeff Greesh. With women's basketball, always good to have Matt Coatney in studio. Huge thanks to Matt Mills, Camden Cohn, Christopher Sullivan-Diaz, their help all week long. They've put together segments throughout the week that we're going to continue throughout the summer. It's been a fun week of shows. Jessica Cootie is back on Monday with yours truly. We'll break down the weekend, and we'll talk you through the summer till football season. Thanks for tuning in.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Looking for options? Woodhouse has them, all under one trusted name. Trucks, SUVs, sedans, and every deal starts at the manufacturer's suggested retail price. Then we apply real discounts and rebates to get you to your true price. No inflated numbers, no gimmicks, and we even share our document fee up front. More brands, more choices, and the honesty you deserve. Start your search today at woodhouse.com. Clear price, clear choice. Hassle-free all the way to your driveway. That's Woodhouse.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Falls City, Columbus, and Osmond.
Ford is here for those who build America. Those who believe that giving everything we've got today will pay off tomorrow. Who will drive America forward for 250 years to come. If that's who you are, you value what we value. Now offering employee pricing. American value for American values. Go to Ford.com.